Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's masterclass. My name is Anushka, and I will be your host for today's masterclass. Today is actually a very exciting format. We have a new format where we have Neil Dodia, who would be speaking about the Modge report. He'd be deep diving into that. Whereas we have a fireside chat by our guest speaker, Payal Sakuja, who is co-founder Ripple Links, and Seema Walia, who is director Scale Businesses. There is a very exciting topic, which is the future of short form videos in India. And we hope and look forward to you enjoying the session. Please stay tuned till the end of the session as we would have our share chat and watch quiz, and you would stand a chance to win exciting prizes. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Kindly put in your questions in the question and answer box on the control panel down in the Zoom chat so that we can address it in the last 15 minutes during our Q&A session. So without any further ado, I would like Seema to please take over.
Hi, thank you so much for setting the context and a very warm welcome to all the participants today evening. Hope you guys had a good busy day today and are ready to relax with us on this exciting journey. Wherein we would be learning a little bit about Modge report, what it talks about the youth insights. We would be talking about the journey of ShareChat and Modge's platforms, and the most exciting part, we would be talking to one of the biggest influencer marketing agency we have on the map today. They're based out of Bangalore and they're called Ripple Links. Payal here would be joining us. Payal is the founder. A very warm welcome, Payal, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Seema, for having me here. It's always a pleasure to be here on March.
Thank you so much. Before we get onto the fireside, I will quickly take you through a little bit about the platform, and we will talk about what is ShareChat and Modge. We'll talk about a little bit about, the most important essential part of the brand safety. We'll talk about the journey, brands, TG and all. Starting with the first slide as to, who we are. We are, we are a very young, aggressive, and now firmly established brand ShareChat and Modge. We launched in 2015. And Anushka, if you could take me to the next slide. Today we are the third largest media digital platform. Today we are 325 million plus strong. If we were to actually talk about the numbers for both the platforms, we are about 180 million plus strong on ShareChat, and we are about 160 million plus strong on Modge. Which is like a 325 unduplicated numbers. ShareChat, your window to Bharat, or rather the window to world, is 180 million strong. As the name suggests, the platform is all about sharing and chatting up with your friends in your own preferred vernacular language. So we have a very important feature on ShareChat, which is called your deep linking with WhatsApp, which actually, what does it mean? It means that when I share a content with ShareChat on any of my family group, my friends group, my office groups, it directly goes as a content. So it doesn't go as a link. Going as a content means increased interest, increased intent to consume that content. And that is witness to the number of shares that you see every minute. There's a high retention time of 30 minutes on ShareChat app. Let's learn a little bit about Modge, which is about 116 million plus strong today. Modge is the way, the world looks at you. It talks about youth, and it talks about the youth in you. It is also a platform, wherein very quickly from an influencer, you turn into a creator. You start talking to the world about the causes that you believe in the language that you want to converse. There's a very high retention period of about 34 minutes. The most beautiful part, if you look at Modge today, is because it allows you to express, and connect to the audience in your own tonality and your language. We have more than 700K monetizable creators on Moj, and this is possible because of two reasons. One, we have an extensive usage of snap lenses. Also, we have a very exhaustive music library. And that is what makes us very strong. If you look at any of the competition platforms today, they are talking of reaching about 245 to 250K number only by 2025, wherein we are already talking of almost 3x the number as on 2023. That's Moj for you. Moj is all Gen Zs. We'll learn a little bit more about the audience there. If we could go to the next slide, please. And let's talk about the share chat audience. First, we are nicely evenly spread out in all tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 markets. Today, all marketeers worth their salt today know that while they cannot ignore tier 1, it's the tier 2 and the tier 3 market which is actually contributing to the growth, the real growth today in any economy of any organization. Now, if you want to just look at the numbers on the screen, you will see that almost 80 million plus strength is coming out of my tier 1 and tier 2 towns. So if you are a brand which with the clear-cut focus on, let's say, top 6 metro cities, or you want to talk about only to the tier 1 audience, this is the platform for you. If you are a brand with a clear-cut focus on tier 2 and tier 3 growing economies, and that is where the real money is coming out of. You talk of towns like Lucknow, Kanpur, Coimbatore, Ludhiana, Ambala, Amritsar, Udupi, Raebareli, name it, any town. These are the towns where the real money is coming in, the real growth is coming. That is also your quintessential audience on share chat. Now, looking at the Moj audience, you will see the difference, because while on share chat, I'm talking of, more of tier-wise audience. And Moj, the beautiful difference is Moj is all Gen Z. It's all youth. Moj is the platform, where either your buyer, immediate buyer is consuming the content, or your influencer. So, for example, imagine that if I have to buy a car today, either I am making a decision or it's my child or child's friend or somebody young in the family who's actually making the decision. It's happening everywhere. The phenomena is seen in our families, it's there in our offices, it's there in our friend circle, where this Gen Z is taking the or influencing the decision. And this Gen Z is a 85% huge percentage audience on Moj. We have an amazing for 70-30 ratio, gender-wise, if you look at it, 30% of about 160 million would be about like a huge 50 million plus, which is the strength overall in the audience. So yeah, I mean, if you are looking for a tier-wise mature audience, young audience, it's on share chat. If you're looking for essentially 85% Gen Z millennials, Moj is a platform for you to connect to. Can we go on the next slide, please, Anushka? And with the next slide, I would like to welcome Neil here, who would come and talk about his very interesting Moj report, which is called Getting Young India Right. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you, Seema, for that. Thank you for setting the stage, introducing Moj and ShareChat to the entire audience. So what is this Getting Young India Right report? This is a report which we recently launched, and we have received a lot of positive feedback about the report, about the insights that it carries. In fact, a lot of publications have carried this insights in their articles as well. So this is a deep insight report which our team has done and found some really interesting things about the young India. Before I go ahead, young India is the youth of India that prefers to watch, that's basically preferring to use a lot of internet. They are the ones who are using a lot of OTT, and they are always glued on the social media. So let's move on, and I'll give you some data about this young India that we have. Now, the first insight that I've got here over here, young India chooses short form video every single day. So when we did this research, we found out that 77% of the young India spends most of their time on short form video and social media, which is humongous compared to the others, where the 16% is news and entertainment, and 7% is television and OTT. Now, short form video is consumed in so many ways. Like if I had to give you my personal example, I consume short form video for news also. You get a lot of news via short form video now, because a lot of these news channels are very, very active on Moj and platforms like that. And they now, what they do is they create content in short form video, and you don't have to really switch on your TV or read news articles. You will get updated about the world within 15 seconds via short form video. I also stay updated with the latest trends. I'm from Mumbai, so I come to know about how the first launch of Apple was via the short form video, because there are so many videos on Moj, which is currently talking about it. Food, one really big category is foods and recipe. I'm a foodie myself, and I also love to cook. So a lot of this content comes from them. So it's not just casual content, but so much stuff available on short form video and social media. So young India, if you are a brand who wants to really reach out to young India, then I think short form video is your go-to destination. And this is not me saying, this is the data that is talking. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Now, young India wants what it wants. And what I mean by this is I'm going to back this with some data. And I've got some really, this is if by far, this is my favorite data when it comes to the report. A good more than 50% of the young India will look for offers and discount, right? Their buying purchases are influenced maximum with the offers and discounts. So we all love buy one, get one free, don't we? And young India also loves that, right? They love sales, they love limited time sales. All of that is something that they really like. So if you are a product or a service which can offer discounts and sales, I think you should really look at how you can do that and how you can incorporate that into your product or service, because that is something that young India is really looking forward for. The rest of the percentages are 15% on reliability of product. So brand name, the reliability of the product is also something that young India gives a lot of importance to, and that is something that you'll also have to keep in mind. A good 13%, and I think one of my favorite also is convenience and free shipping. We all love free shipping, and that is something that young India also likes. Then we have easy return policy, and 6% is wide range of products at one place. So you have plethora of products to select from. That is something that young India also prefers. And flexible payment options. A lot of brands have started noticing are giving payment options where you have easy pay, you have easy EMI, you have buy now, pay later. So tying up with more these payment gateways can help you, because it allows young India to select flexible payment options. So that's basically about what the insights on influence are. Some more things that I want to talk about, especially when it comes to Moj and Young India. And these numbers are absolutely crazy. The first number that I want to talk about, 3 million video views are played every day on Moj, with 6 million, 3 million video uploads are done every day on Moj, with 6 billion video views being played every day. And an average viewing time is 34 minutes on Moj. We have 300 million active users. The exact number for Moj and ShareChat unduplicated is 325 million active users. 50% of the crowd on Moj is Young India, and 85% is 50% of Young India is on Moj, and 85% of the audience is Young India itself. And right now we have 50 million creators onboarded on Moj. That's the number that we have, 50 million creators on board on Moj. Okay, can we move to the next slide, please? Now, couple of things. What are your benefits when it comes to Moj? First of all, if you might be knowing, Moj is available in 16 languages, including English, and you can create content basis your choice. So now we are not restricting to only English and Hindi, but there are 16 languages to select from, right from Tamil, Telugu to Gujarati, and so many more. I would strongly encourage all of you all to create content in these languages, because they resonate the best. They do the best amount of storytelling. Second is trending challenges and high quality lenses. This is a technological advancement that we have, and I have some examples also to show you in the next coming slides. But we have these really good lenses which you can make use of, and showcase your product in a very, very different manner. Then we have snackable content that hits the right chord. Um, the problem that I always face, and I'm sure that many of you all must have faced that issue, is that what do I watch, right? The decision making on what to watch is quite problematic, and that is something that is taken care by the short form video, because you don't really have to search something. The AI is so powerful. It understands from your viewing history how much time are you spending to watch that particular video. Do you like that video? Do you comment on that video? Basis that it recommends content which you will really enjoy, and that content is given to you and you consume that content, right? So it's very snackable content. Also, you don't need a lot of time to watch these videos, right? For example, let's think of I'm waiting for my cab to come, or let's say I'm in my train and I have a few seconds to do something on my phone before my station comes, right? All of that is possible via snackable content. uh, the other thing that we have is very highly engaged audience and a very robust creator community. Like 50 million plus is the creator community that we have. And the audience is also very highly engaged. Like Seema told, the share button where people share our content on WhatsApp very, very regularly, and very high number of people do that. And that makes our audience extremely engaging. Uh, then we have innovative ad formats. So there are different type of ad formats that we have that you can explore out of. See the various ad formats that we have and pick and choose the best one that will be fitted for your brand. Then we have precise measurement solutions for advertisements. So you will be able to measure a lot of things when you're running the ad. For example, the time viewed, who's your audience, etc. That will help you to analyze what is going right, wrong, work on it, and make the best out of these ads. And last but not the least, a community of like-minded creators. You will have creators which are like-minded, which understands their audience, and they can do storytelling in that particular manner. So that is about what the benefits are for Merge. Now I'll also take you through factors that influence India's consumption. Sorry, go back to the previous slide, please. Yeah. So the first one is why are they on short form video? A good 38% of them are to check the latest trends. Good 21% are to check innovative content, and 16% are there to consume more content in less time, right? So you don't have, like I said, decision making fatigue. You don't have to really decide on what to watch. You just open it and the AI will do for it. And 11% do go to Moj to check their favorite influencers slash creators. Okay, now, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to show you some examples of what we have did with innovative ads. Can we move to the next slide? Yes. These are some of the brands that have come and had a very, very successful campaigns with us. The first one that we're going to talk about is Navratna oil, hair oil. Now, when I say hair oil, you can probably just visualize it, okay? Or you can just think about it. Over here, we literally make you kind of experience it in a certain manner. Uh, we will play the first video for you, and then I will discuss about it. Thank you. So over here, what we saw is that an experience being bought over there where this girl was frustrated. It's very hot out there, and visually via the lenses, there's another oil coming in over there, and suddenly it becomes cool, right? So it's over here. What happens is you kind of get using lenses in a very smart manner. You kind of give them an experience of what it will feel like to the user, right? This was a very, very successful campaign where we received 4.2 billion views for this particular video. We use creators of all sorts to make this trend go viral, and it successfully did. Then we did a campaign with Dettol, something very, very similar, where we got 10 billion plus views. And the most recent one is Sting. Sting is a beverage drink, and we got again we got creators on board to do this campaign, and we received about 4 billion views for this campaign as well. So what happens is, when we're talking about ad formats, you can literally experiment with your ad formats on Watch, and see what works for you, and deliver the best results. Can we move to the next slide? Right. So the time has come. I would suggest all of you all to please go ahead, scan this QR code and download a copy of Getting Young India Right. It's a really research report. While you all are downloading the report, I will give you some more insights for you all to understand why this report is very valuable and what kind of insights it's holding. The first one that I want to talk about is over 77% of young India prefers short video format content. The second one that I want to talk about is mobile phone is 45% and apparels is 32% are the top two categories where young India spends on. Now, if you have clients, or if you are a mobile phone brand, then short form video is your go-to place, because that is where people are actually going, and short video, sorry, that is where they are spending their maximum money, and short form video is really influencing them. So probably young India is making a decision on which brand to buy and which particular model to buy, basis on what they saw on short form video, and deciding on those bases. So that is happening with mobile phone as well as fashion. And one more thing, and one last insight that I want to give you is, young India uploads 3 million videos on Moj every single day, and like I said earlier, 34 minutes is the average viewing time that happens, right? So I would request all of you all to quickly scan this QR code and download the report. You can go through the report later on. It's very, very insightful, but it's a simple PDF that you will get on your email. And do scan this, and yeah, make the most out of it in your next campaign for short form video. And with that, I'm gonna have this QR code there for another 10-15 seconds. And after that, I would love to have Seema as well as Payal for this very, very exciting fireside chat, where they will be discussing short form video in so much length. Seema, over to you. I think you'll be the best person to just talk about Payal and her experience in influencer marketing, creator marketing, and the entire social media gamut that Link runs. Thank you so much, Seema.
Hey, thanks, Neil. That was a pretty exhaustive one, and thank you for all the insights. I could see a lot of questions popping up while you were sharing the report in the chat box, and I tried to answer some. But yeah, I mean, moving over to my favorite part of today's discussion, and that is a discussion with a very dear friend of mine, Payal Sakuja. She's a co-founder for Ripple Links. Almost all of you would be knowing, but I'll quickly set up an introduction. Ripple Links today is a full-service influencer marketing agency. They deliver amazing influencer campaigns. They engage with all the brands on, the creative level, community level. They do a lot of creator programs. And Payal, if I'm not wrong, I think you have esteemed brands like Colgate, Asian Paints, Xiaomi, Heinz, Mahindra Bank, and many more in your kitty already.
Yes, that's right, Seema.
That's great. Payal, it's my absolute, delight to be talking on a topic today, with you, which is dear to, I think, both you and me, and that is, where are we, with the entire short form video universe? Where is it heading? How has it become such an integral part of our lives today? While we're talking about the size of the this industry, and Anushka has put up a slide which even talks about 8 to 12 billion size and so on. you know what actually, and this is something which I face as a publisher, and I'm sure every brand comes and asks you, what do we do with the attention span, or what do we do with that stigma of people looking at the content and quickly doing a, you know, a up swipe or a right swipe? How do brands deal with that?
So, if you ask me, attention span these days have drastically come down,
Yeah.
We want everything quick. Like, I mean, earlier we would say Maggie 2 minute mein. Now we are expecting, groceries to be delivered at home in under 10 minutes, right? So we want everything at the snap, ki chutki bajao and things should be done. And that expectation is there. So when everything is happening so quickly, people do not like to consume content which is really detailed. Hence, short form videos are definitely, the way to reach every audience. We do get these questions quite often asked by brands ki 30 seconds, yeah, 59 seconds. How do I communicate it so quickly? 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Mera message pahunchega ki nahi pahunchega, And to that, Seema, what we always tell brands is, if your communication is crisp, everybody is going to remember it. You need not spend a 10-minute video or a 20-minute video or a long article to communicate, your brand message. So I'm sure everybody remembers Pepsi. We would just say, Pepsi aha. And, that became a campaign. We would say, Panch matlab chota Coke or Thanda matlab Coca-Cola, So there people didn't even use 5 seconds. It was, hardly 3-4 seconds and the brand message was communicated. So for things like that, I think it's absolutely fine if your communication strategy is crisp. You will definitely reach out to the target audience. I mean, one brand that does it beautifully. I mean, they do amazing moment marketing, which I really like, is Amul. I mean, today morning I saw an ET which said, I Muska for all, because Tim Cooks was in India and they had this whole thing. So they had I Muska for all, again, a 3-4 word sentence, but we all knew what it was. So that's it. If your messaging is crisp, clear, you need not need a long form to substantiate that messaging. You can catch the attention of the user in the earlier seconds of whatever content we do.
Absolutely correct. I mean, I completely resonate with you. So I think the gist that I'm taking away from your, pointers is that today marketeers need not only budget the monies, but they also need to budget on the time.
Correct, absolutely. And it's good, right? Shorter airtime also saves marketers a lot of money, because if you create a longer content, you need to spend so much in production to create that long content. If you're creating shorter content, it's also saving marketers with a lot of money and also reaching the target audience right, provided your messaging is right, provided you've got your strategy right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, while we're talking about this, and these are some of the amazing pointers I think you have discussed, and they're part of our best practices, on both ShareChat and Moj. So while this entire universe, this short form video or the social media platforms today, one thing which is the soul of this entire universe, and I believe in it, is the Gen Zs or the youth. I mean, I think everything is revolving around them, and like they say, if you want to catch them, you catch them young. I mean, it holds so true for the times we are living in. So and you deal with brands, which have been there since ages. Like, you and me have been born and brought up on a brand like Colgate, or many other such iconic brands, and you actually guide them towards catching these young audience. So tell me, what do you think, as an agency owner today, Pyle, what do you think makes this young India tick, or actually stick on to your brand, or look up to your brand, or actually say that, okay, yeah, hell yeah, I mean, that's my brand, I want to look at them and I want to follow them. What is it that makes them tick?
So, before I answer this, what makes young India click or tick, I think it's important to know what young India wants, or who this young India is. I think this young India, and by young India, I do not mean only age mein younger. It could be anybody who is digital, tech savvy, is India today, right? For all of us, young India is very well read. is very well informed, with mobile, with data being accessible to everybody, be it our kids, be it our household help. I have seen everybody is highly tech savvy these days. And with internet access being accessible by all, young India is very well informed. If we have to make a purchase decision earlier, if I go 10 years older or 15 years older, we would ask somebody and whatever they would tell us, we would believe and go and buy the product, right? But today we do not do that. Young India definitely doesn't do that. What do? They read about it, they look for competitors, they compete, they try and figure out what works for them, what will not work for them, and then they go and make their decision. So young India is definitely well read, well informed, and make the decisions, by weighing all the options very well. Even if they have to buy, say, for example, if they have to buy a mobile phone, they would go and figure out, shall I buy an Apple? Shall I buy a Xiaomi? So there would be various factors, right? It could be budget, it could be what camera you're looking at, what data you're looking at, right? But they would definitely go and read up, watch videos, read up articles, and figure out what is it that they definitely need. So young India is informed. Young India loves entertainment. Again, I'm telling young India, but even we love entertainment. If a content is very boring, nobody's going to consume it. If an ad is boring, nobody likes it. Fevicol ads, we all remember. I would remember Fevicol ads, chipkao kind of a thing. Because bachpan se we have seen it and they have done very beautifully, right? Yeah. Now, if something is creative, is exciting, is entertaining, that makes young India click. If something is boring, they do not resonate with it. But they also like a lot of personal touch, a lot of conversational, tone in doing things. They like being addressed to, they like being heard. Hence, any social media platform that gives young India, a platform for brands to hear them out is what young India likes. They love it when brands ask, we feel this, tell us what you feel, right? We have done campaigns with brands where a lot of brands, even for Palmolive, when we did something, they spoke to a lot of users, and these were like your creators online who were not like very big but small on is product ki packaging ye karu ki nahi karu, isme, do you think will this work, will this not work? I'm planning to go to the market with this messaging, will it work for my audience, right? So they love it when it's a two-way communication, and social these days is giving people an option to make communication two-way, right? So that is, I think, what works for young India. And what makes them click or tick is if you give them something that is honest, and if you do not play around with them. Brands have to be honest. Brands have to abide by whatever we are committing. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि आप दिखाओ कुछ और मिलेगा कुछ और. If any brand is honest to the propositions, whatever they are making, everybody buys to it. Be it young India, be it old India, be it you and me, everybody is going to buy.
Fact, Payal, as to, the last statement you made, because I remember I was reading somewhere that today's youth, and, is one of the, the section of society which doesn't hesitate in standing up for a cause. And that cause could be anything. It could be related to a country, it could be related to an organization, it could be related to a brand, and which we see that, suddenly you will see one youth standing for a cause and actually talking about it, and the video becoming viral. Absolutely. If facts and every figures are clear. Another thing, and I remember having this conversation with you, a couple of weeks back, and you were telling me that, there is this growing trend from influencers to the regional influencers, the celebrities to the regional influencers, and that is what a lot of youth is connecting to. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So, if you ask me as an agency, say 5 years back, we would do very big campaigns on maybe larger, festivals in India. It could be Diwali, it could be New Year, it could be Christmas, or maybe some holiday seasons and stuff, right? But now everything has become a very, very regional, very vernacular. Last 2 years, we have done campaigns on Poila Boishakh, A lot of us would not know what Poila Boishakh is. It's the Bengali New Year. We have done campaigns for Vishu. We have done campaigns for Onam, so if brands are doing campaigns on digital for, to address to a particular market in a particular region by picking up creators to do that, that gives everybody a reason to say that, regional is in. If you communicate with people in the language that they understand, and you touch their hearts and speak to them with words that is what when they start believing in you. A lot of brands, I mean, earlier in TV days, they would create one ad and then copy the same ad in various languages. Even now when we go to movie theaters, there would be one ad with Priyanka Chopra or Shah Rukh Khan or somebody, and the voice would be Kannada, but they are not speaking in Kannada, or they are not speaking in Marathi or Tamil, right? But we know they are there, and so those ads are, they are like literally translated, for their audience. But I don't know how many of us resonate to that. But if you could take a local face, which a lot of brands have started doing, they take local faces and then make them heroes and use those faces to be brand ambassadors or brand advocates for that particular market. Just to give you an example, we did a campaign with Visible White, I think last year, where we took creators from, from Tamil Nadu, from Telangana, from Karnataka, Bengal, Maharashtra, from various regions. And when they created this video, we also gave brand usage right to promote individual videos in individual markets, right? They did not take, one Sara Ali Khan or one Kiara Advani's video and they didn't promote it. So they had those big brand ambassadors, for the brand. So they had Kiara for Visible White, but they also took this vernacular regional influencers content and promoted it on digital for X number of times to resonate with the audience. So regional is something that always gives brands better ROI. We had done I was surprised when I saw that. Sorry.
I would actually like to interject here and catch on the word. You just used a very interesting word, ROI, and that is what most of the brands today. We go to the biggest of the brands, or you go to the the entrepreneur brands. Everybody talks about ROI, or they talk about the question that I often hear is, how do we measure our success on the platform?
Correct.
What is it that you tell the brands? I mean, what should be their success metrics, or for any campaign, what should be the metrics?
So, this is something that we are asked day in, day out, because we are an agency, right? And the brands we work with, they are very mindful of every penny they spend. And it is also, I think, our responsibility as agencies to be very, very diligent and give them, 10 times more than the money that they spend, right? It's only then we add value to the system. So it is, everybody expects you to give 1 for 1. But when you start giving 1 for 2, is when they start trusting you with what you do. So I think on videos these days, some very plain matrix, right? Like people ask for views, they ask for plays, watch time, reach, impressions. Some brands, that we work for also, so we go one step further and give them insights like conversation rates, right? Now, or an interaction rate. Now, what is an interaction rate? It's something like if 10 people have viewed my video, but if 2 of them have engaged in it with a comment or something like that, then that becomes your conversation rate, right? Which is a very insightful matrix. Dekha to 10 ne, but pasand kisko aaya? Who was the one who actually thought it was nice and went a step further, right? So that matrix is very nice. A lot of brands now also want to move towards the bottom of the funnel matrix, right? अच्छा मुझे reach मिल गया, मुझे engagement मिल गया, सब मिल गया, but पैसे कहाँ हैं? How many people clicked, came to my website, bought my product, right? So for this, what a lot of brands do is there are UTM links which are there, which are given to different creators, and then the traffic source is tracked, the return is tracked. I mean, I'm sure you all have an ad on, I think it's called Spark Ads or something on Merge, where you take the creator's ad and we put money behind it, and then you lead traffic to a website, right? So similarly, this is done in a lot of platforms. A very interesting number that all brands also want is watch time, just to understand that did the audience drop before the brand came in, or were they till the end of the video? So they want to know till what span of time was I able to catch the attention of the user. So these are certain metrics that we always tell the brand. So we typically say we divide it in ACPL, which is your awareness, consideration, purchase, and loyalty. These are 4 steps for every marketing funnel, right? Your views, reach, impressions, these are your awareness matrix is what we tell brand. Your interaction rate or your conversations are your consideration matrix, because that is when you say, acha, this person likes the product and now they are engaging further because they are interested in it. So we are trying to build in some consideration. And then if you reach the holy grail and you can land them up to your website and help them buy the purchase, why not? Right. So typically it ends up in a funnel like that.
So amazing. I mean, I think that's good to learn. We spoke about the universe, we spoke about the youth. You actually told us how brands can measure their campaigns. And in interest of time, I want to ask you one last question. And, that is a question which is actually going to help a lot of people present here today. When on ShareChat and Moj, we always say that it is not only about language, but it is about language with the correct cultural affluence. I mean, it's like you said, just a voiceover can't help. It has to be the real soul in the message. So give us an example of any one campaign that you would have done where language became your ultimate measurement criteria and completely turned the scales for the campaign. We would love to hear about that.
So absolutely, Seema. So we do a lot of work for Marico as well. Say 3 years back, we had done a campaign for AP, which was sliding comb, where people were just brushing their hair, because it was to show that because of the oil, your hair has become fine and you're sliding the comb kind of thing. So we had done a sliding comb challenge. Last year, or I think early this year, we did a campaign in Kerala, which was again for Parachute Ayurveda. It was called the 7 signs of hair fall kind of a thing. So the market was Kerala, where we worked with a lot of creators to create short form, videos in Malayalam. And so it's not only the language that they spoke was Malayalam, but the outfit that the creators were resonating with the audience, the kind of backgrounds they used, the kind of essence they used, right? So we stuck to the culture of Kerala when we did the campaign, and to our surprise, in that campaign, our view rate was more than 25-30%. The interaction rate, right? I always say that I always not only count views, but I also say that the interaction rate, which is typically a 4 or 5%, was almost an 8.5% for that particular campaign, where we saw a lot of people also asking questions related to that particular brand in the creator's feed, right? So we all know that when we do campaigns with influencers, a lot of times we get comments, which says, you look nice, you look cool, kind of a thing. But you get the real ROI when that comment is related to the brand. So when we are doing a campaign for Colgate, and if the user is asking a question saying, can I actually get white teeth in 7 days? Or is this product available on Amazon, or where can I buy it? Those are the things which when a vernacular creator talks with that much of authenticity, that audience resonates with it. They resonate with what they are saying. They understand every bit of it. And that is when brands see ROI. We have seen this in the case of Colgate when we did, and when we work for Colgate, it is also pan-India, right? It is Hindi, English, and also a lot of your regional markets. But there are a lot of campaigns which are done specifically for a regional market. Like there are campaigns. So there is Active Salt, which does very well in Bengal and South. So during Pujos, we do a campaign which is only for Bengal, where the essence of the campaign in terms of the flavor of the campaign, the language, the outfit, everything relates to the audience out there, right? Now, those campaigns definitely see very, very high engagement, very high conversions. They do absolutely well. Because, India is not India. I mean, I say it very often, India is Bharat, we say that we all stay in metros, we do not touch base with the real India quite often. But India is Bharat. Bharat has a lot of spends. They actually, I mean, I was reading an article the other day where it said that, platforms like your Meesho, Mitra, they have a larger sale coming from your tier 2, tier 3 cities. We do a lot of Meesho where they are catering to your tier 2, tier 3 audience, and they say, t-shirts under 299, t-shirts under 399, right? Now, this is where the Bharat is. So if we have to talk to Bharat, we have to talk to them in the language that they understand and not a plain language for all.
Absolutely. Well said, Payal, and thank you for sharing amazing insights. So I think my takeaway from today's session is that keep it short, keep it simple, keep it quick and swift. Talk vernacular with the relevant cultural influence and the soul built in the message. Talk to the relevant audience, effective audience. Learn to measure your campaigns, and most importantly, regional influencers have the, I think, other way to go. Bharat has the money and they have the power to spend. So with this, we come to the end with the amazing conversation we were having with Payal today. Anushka, over to you.
Thank you, Payal. Thank you.
Thank you, Anushka.
It was a great session. And just before we wind up, Seema, can you quickly go through the brand safety bit?
I'll do that. That is, in fact, another most important slide of our presentation today. And why we call it so important is because today each of the brand, which wants to come on any of the digital platform, Anushka, they only talk about one thing, and that is the content safe? Is my ad going to be played in a safe environment? And we, the answer from our end is that yes, because we do it in multiple ways. One, we have a very robust AI system. So let me tell you. So any content, any user generated content which goes on any of the platform, guys, today is marked under a not safe for work. Or the whether it is okay to be watched during your work or with family or not, and it is scaled between 0 to 1. Anything which is above 0.5 is immediately scanned by our AI and sent for manual intervention, wherein the teams actually review the entire content and only then release it or ban it. Even if it is released, and after release, if the user complains against it, we pull down the content in within 24 hours. And also another precaution that we take, and that is for the entire community present here on the today, is that we are consciously taken a call never to place an ad against any content which is released also after the manual intervention. So anything which is even if a little sensitive, we will never ad against it. As a brand, we are very responsible and very conscious about it. And that comes to our last slide. And like Neil had his favorite in his report, this is my favorite, because with this, our community keeps growing, on day by day and by each masterclass. This is our way to welcome the new entrants on our platform. We have an amazing platform called Self-Serve, wherein everybody who wants to come advertise, manage their account on their own, or if you are an agency and you want to do a multiple agency account holding for your multiple clients, you can come and join us via Self-Serve. There is a wallet that you have to do. Everything can be done on your own. It's a very gamified process. You log on to ShareChat Ads platform, you log in, you make your login ID. The minute you make a login ID, there's a 500 rupees which comes as a welcome gesture in your wallet. And then you start advertising with recharging your wallet. Every time you recharge your wallet, you get additional ad credits from us, or you get some kind of creative credits from us. There are a lot of schemes which keep going off and on. And our sales team, I have a lovely sales team at the back end which would help you onboard the platform. You can write to us on the email ID that Anushka would be sharing in the end, or you directly log on to the platform. The minute you log in, the sales team would get in touch with you. They will help you onboard it. Once you onboard it, then there is a campaign management team which actually talks to you about the best practices. They'll also tell you what kind of offers we have, how you are eligible for it. And yeah, I mean, you are ready for a successful campaign for your brand.
Great. Thank you, Seema. This was a great wrap up. And thank you, Payal, for your time. We will quickly dive into our Q&A session. I think we'll have to cut that tad bit short today because we have our quiz as well. That's the last part of.
I've answered most of the questions.
You have? Okay, great. Superb. Yeah. So the main thing I wanted to take up was the one question, which was the lead generation question. If we can use the platform for lead generation for the audience to, also hear it from you all.
Of course, we can use it for lead generation. We can also do a lot of targeting. So most of the questions, when I was going through, people wanted to understand what Young India is. I have recommended you to download the Monch report and please go through. It would set a beautiful context as to what we say when we use this term Young India. We have a lot of targeting options available for both the platforms on ShareChat and Monch. And it's my humble request, please get in touch with with us on the email ID before you start using your targetings, because at times what happens is you might end up using a lot of targeting which would not be so viable with the campaign KPIs that you might have in mind. I would like if my campaign management team can actually guide you on that. Lead generation campaigns can, of course, be carried on both the platforms and with very successful results. And I think I've answered most. And that's it.
Thank you, Seema.
Thank you.
So for everyone who's present right now, please stick around because we've got the quiz that's going to start any minute. And you can have a quick read through the quiz rules while Neil will host it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for that. What a lovely session. What a lovely rapid fire round. Really enjoyed it. Since we are in short of time, let's really jump to the quiz. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. For those who have attended the quiz earlier, it's a very, you know how it works. But for those who are playing it for the first time, it's quite simple. You will see questions and you will see 4 options and you have to select the correct option, right? Basis, not just that you have to be correct, but you have to be the fastest one to get it right. And basis that, we will have a leaderboard over there and 2 winners over here will win exciting gifts from ShareChat and Moj. In my next screen, I'm going to give you a QR code to scan. Kindly request all of you to scan this QR code and participate in a quiz. This entire process will not take more than 5 minutes. So I request all of you all to participate in this quiz, and this is something that you will really enjoy and have fun with. If you all can see my screen now, I request all of you all to quickly scan the QR code, punch in your name, your email ID, and company name, and we will directly jump into it. I can see approximately 25 people have already participated. I'll wait for a few more and then we'll get started. Let's wait till 30 people. Can I have one more? So while people are participating, I'm going to give you a quick recap on the rules. You will see question on your screen as well as on my screen. Okay. And each question has 4 options. You have to select the right one. Not only just the right one, but the fastest one. Basis how fast you give the answer, you get certain points. And these points in total will decide who the winner is. Top 2 winners will win some exciting goodies by ShareChat and Moj. Okay, so we have touched 31 and that's a good number. I'll wait for another 10 seconds and we'll go ahead. All right, so here we start. These are the people who have already participated. I can see 32, 30 to 33 as a number. and we will start right now. So here's the first question. You will see it on the screen. ShareChat network is the dash largest media network in India, and your options are fourth largest, fifth largest, third largest, or sixth largest network in India. This is amongst the first slide that Seema discussed, and let's see how many of y'all get it right. Yes, a good 19 of y'all got this right. We are the third largest network. And let's look at the leaderboard. Right. So we have Rohan, we have Pratikshit, and we have Sharan. Okay. Now, in order to maintain this ranking, you'll also need to be really fast in the next question, which will show up in your screen in the next 2 seconds. An average mod user spends dash minutes per day on the platform. I remember at least telling you all this number twice or thrice. Let's see if you all remember this. The options are 30 minutes, 34 minutes, 40 minutes, or 44 minutes. And the correct answer is yes, 34 minutes. That's a really, really good answer by 19 of you all. This shows that you have been paying attention during the masterclass. Let's look at the leaderboard again. Pratikshit, Nikita, and Navneesh. All right, let's go next. This is your third question. We are almost there, halfway. On which channel does Young India spend most of its time? This is a really, really easy one. The options are short form video, news channels, TV and OTT, and none of the above. Right, the answer is short form video. Almost all of you all got this right, but let's see who's trending on the leaderboard. Yes, Pradikshit, you are still ranking one, followed by Nikita. So remember, we will be having two winners. So let's go to a fourth question. Gen Z and millennials make dash percentage of Moj audience. What percentage does Gen Z and millennials make? It's 50, 65, 85, and 55. The answer is 85%. Really impressed by the way you guys are answering. Let's look at the leaderboard. Okay, a new name. So we have Nikita and Bhaskar. All right, let's move on. This is our second last question, and it's on your screen. Which of these factors influences Young India's purchase decisions the most? And in terms of options, we have free shipping, easy returns, offers and discounts, or none of the above. This was my favorite data point, if you remember. And the answer is pretty simple. Yes, it's offers and discounts. 21 of you got this right. Let's look at the leaderboard. Okay, we have Bhaskar followed by Nikunj. Pratikshit, this is your chance to really, really buckle up. We are getting into the last questions. So are yours, Rohan, as well. Let's move on to the last question. ShareChat and Moj combined have dash million monthly active users. It's 325 million, 220 million, 160 million, and 275 million. Remember, it's ShareChat and Moj combined. And let's look at the answer. It's 325 million. A good 17 of you all got this right. Let's look at our winner. And our winners are Bhaskar, followed by Pratikshit. Thank you very, very much for participating in this. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Yes, 325 million is the monthly active users for ShareChat and Moj combined. And I wish Bhaskar and Pratikshit congratulations. We will get in touch with you for the details. I think this was one of the best masterclasses that we had. So much insights via the Moj report, and really, really good insights by Payal. I specifically love the insight that you spoke about celebrating ads about a New Year festival in West Bengal, which I really did not hear of. But yes, that's the importance of regional content, right? Which we don't know, but people really, really resonate to. So I thank everyone of y'all for being a part of this. I hope this was as insightful for y'all as well, as much as it was for me. And once again, I thank Payal and Seema for doing this. And see you all at the next masterclass.
Thank you so much, Neil.
Thank you, Payal. Thank you, Seema.